Hello and welcome to Cut That Promo, our weekly wrestling podcast that drops every Wednesday night right here on youtube.com/sitdownshowdown. I am your host, John Lucas, alongside my co-host, Vandie Barnard. Woo! Mr. Kevin Ortiz, how's it going, brother?
It's going good, man. What's going on, fellas?
Follow us on Twitter at Cut That Promo and on Sit Down Showdown. You can follow me on Twitter at JMLucas18. You can follow Vandie at Vandie Barnard. Kevin Ortiz, you can follow him at OrtizKevin90. We are the generation that grew up in the Attitude Era. This is our take on the business. So, for everyone that doesn't know us, we formerly were Pro Wrestling Boys Podcast. We gave you guys a little bit of announcement on our last episode saying we were going to come up with some new content. We're going to continue our wrestling podcast. That's this. We are now Cut That Promo. If it wasn't obvious, we love promos. We love hearing when wrestlers can go in the ring, get some mic time, and really be themselves and just kind of open up to the audience and really expand their character a little bit. I think that's kind of a lost art in today's day and age. And some people may look at it as, oh, I hate the Authority coming out and doing a 20-minute promo to open Raw. You guys can hate it, but that first 20 minutes is informative information. You know, like that's news that will continue to run through the rest of Raw. Like, oh, hey, championship match here at the pay-per-view. Oh, hey, main event tonight is set during those first 20 minutes, typically, right?
Usually,
right.
Yeah.
So, we like promos. We're not gonna put too much of an emphasis on them, but we are gonna highlight them. Again, we're big Rocky fans, and just in the general sense, you have to like promos to be a Rocky fan.
Okay.
Straight up. So we're going to go ahead and give you guys just a basic, this is us, give you guys a new introduction to us who hasn't met us before. Alright, so Vandie, why don't you go ahead and start us off? Just give us like a little bit of information like who you are and what you bring to the wrestling world.
You already know, I am the one and only Vandie Barnard, 26, but then again, we're all 26, so we all right there. And we started watching wrestling back in the Attitude Era, of course, but way back, probably 1998, 97, somewhere around there. Of course, as John mentioned, Rocky fan, so first time I turned on, I think it was a SmackDown probably, and then saw The Rock. So I'm cutting the promo. It doesn't matter who the promo was against. It was The Rock cutting the promo, and that's the main thing. And instantly then I fell in love week after week just watching wrestling. Even the times when we couldn't watch wrestling, sneaking on the TV and still watching wrestling. And to this day, still a wrestling fan. So of course we've seen the business change and people come and go, and everything is different now. And we've seen people that we grew up with watching wrestling not be wrestling fans anymore for one reason or another, but stuck it through and don't regret that at all. Love wrestling, love the entertainment it brings people together every single time. Being in the atmosphere as a wrestling fan is just absolutely tremendous, especially at WrestleMania.
There's nothing like it. If you haven't been to a live show, please do yourself a favor. Just go to your local Raw, go do a live show on the weekends, go with your family. It's awesome, and when you get like a great crowd that loves to cheer and just have some fun with the wrestlers and stuff, they dig it, we dig it. It's I don't want to call it like a sports atmosphere. It's something else entirely, and it's almost addicting in that sense. We love it so much. We go literally as often as we can. We even go to our local show. Shout out to Nova Pro Wrestling. You know, and then we went to Battleground this past pay-per-view in Washington D.C.
Yeah,
incredible, best Battleground ever. But yeah, Kev, why don't you give us a little bit about you?
Okay, man. I've been watching wrestling since I was, like you said, about 7 or 8 years old or so. I just remember pretty much being yelled at, by my mom, being downstairs with my dad, watching late night. Hey, you got to go to sleep, you got school the next day. But hey, I'd still stay down there. My dad let me stay, maybe actually 30 minutes or so to catch the action. My first, I guess, fond memory is just seeing Stone Cold Steve Austin, just a guy raising hell as he does, drinking beers on live TV, just throwing them back, one by one.
Giving everyone the one finger salute.
Telling everybody you're number one, Just awesome memories, just, like you were saying, hanging out with your family, all the emotion that they kind of draw from you. Everybody wanted to be like Austin or like The Rock. You know, we'd go to school, we'd all wrestle and whatnot. You know, for recess or after school, just
had
an amazing
a wrestling
time.
league back in
We had a wrestling league, and how incredible was that?
Your boy Kevin, tag team champions, undefeated. Nobody could take the titles.
We're the tag champs of the world. Oh man, just awesome times, and just like you were saying, we've seen the business grow, and people have come and gone. We still all have favorites, you know, in today's day and age, and it's just an awesome time to be a wrestling fan now, especially since they're doing so many good things. I love it, man. Just love being a fan, and can't
For sure, no. It's like you both have mentioned how the business has evolved, and that's it. I think that point does need to be emphasized. You know, a lot of fans kind of fell out of it when their favorites come and go, like The Rock or Austin. And I know those names they get thrown out a lot, but it's true. That's the fact of the matter.
Yeah.
A lot of people became wrestling fans because they wanted to see what Stone Cold Steve Austin was going to do to Vince McMahon every Monday night. Or, in The Rock's case, what he was going to do to somebody on Thursday night. SmackDown was created to be The Rock show. And point simple. And for guys who didn't have cable back in the day, UPN 20 SmackDown
was it.
That was it, boy. Oh, that was it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but just a little bit about me. Like them, been watching since I was about 7 or 8 years old. I was at my grandparents' house hanging out with my aunt and my uncle, and I was flipping through channels looking for Raw because I knew everyone was going to be talking about it the next day. And the first thing I see is Triple H in D-Generation X just cross-chopping, just doing everything to just hackle someone. I don't remember who it was or anything like that, but I remember Triple H and this long hair, and I remember that was the first time I was like, guys can have long hair? That is so cool. And then the next thing I saw was Classic Kane with the mask, and I was like, this guy is the embodiment of everything my family probably hates. I love him. I love him. And he was just a monster back in the day. Anyone who was a Classic Kane fan will tell you, the big red machine, Hellfire and Brimstone, that dude was a force. And he was a legit, wow, don't mess with this guy. He's gonna tear you apart, you know.
And you knew better at that time.
Everyone knew better, but just the fond memories, you know, just going back to like 3rd grade. I remember you guys' wrestling league and everything, and of course I wasn't in it, and just different classes.
You were in the wrong class, man.
You were wrong class, you know. But I still remember distinctly getting in trouble, just going around, just going second. Just oh man. But I remember me and other friends just in the hallways going like to lunch or something like that. Like, oh my gosh, just grabbing it for a stunner. And then my favorite was always go-to was for a pedigree. Because, you know, you could always, like, just grab hook their arms and just jump. And you don't hurt them or anything, you know. It's fun to do, you know, kids messing around. It's wrestling, you know. It's fun. It's fun when you're a kid. It's fun when you're an adult when you can get into it. Going back to your point on the evolution of the business, though, the wrestling is better. It's much better than it was back in the day. I love classic matches. I go back and watch them for the nostalgia factor, but for the in-ring product it's better today than it ever has been. And I mean that in the best possible way. I can go back and watch a classic match. All of our favorite matches are classic matches, you know, but it's something about today's product that you need to just see for yourself. I'm wearing a Seth Rollins t-shirt. This man is the best wrestler in the world. CrossFit Jesus right here. I really mean it. This dude is so innovative. He does a lot of new things that I never saw before. When I first saw him break onto the scene, he can wrestle as a bad guy or a good guy, heel or face, respectively. And he gets the crowd behind him. Yeah. This man knows exactly how to rile the crowd up or get them behind him. He knows how to get the jeers or the cheers, whatever you want to call them. You know.
That's true. Same thing with this guy right here.
The
Mr.
current WWE Universal Champion.
The longest reigning Universal Champion in history.
I love how they incorporated
Kevin Owens. No, but he's doing great right now.
Just going to your point too, I mean, a lot of the same things that Rollins does, Owens can do, and it's pretty damn impressive because obviously his not the same body type as you know Seth Rollins is. So you see a bigger dude doing all the same type moves as Rollins does, you know, moonsaults off the top rope and all these crazy.
I remember when he did that first jump up on the turnbuckles, then flip around for the moonsault. I was like,
incredible.
wow. And then his fisherman driver off the top rope, that was
That move was
that
amazing.
blew my mind. I was
never
like,
seen anything like it.
Exactly. I never even conceived that move could even happen.
He's so damn innovative.
I know, and we've all seen so much wrestling. When you can get one of us to, oh my gosh,
it's new.
Oh, it's new. It's something. It's awesome.
And when you beat this guy, John Cena, on your first night, you're gonna have a great career.
You're good. It's man. Just going ahead to that real quick. I couldn't believe he beat John Cena on his first night. What a way to just tell everybody who you are. Yeah, your debut match. You beat
John Cena.
The face who runs the place.
Former.
There's a former face who runs the place. That armband, he'll never let you forget it now. Styles armband. I love it.
I almost don't know what they're gonna do with them now, and I kind of want to see what they do when Cena gets back. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
I think now we're going to take this time, whenever we have a new guest on, or in you guys' case, all of us are new to you, we're going to have them talk about their favorite matches. We are going to select one match of ours that is our favorite match. We can talk about these matches all day. I've seen this match. I've seen my particular match at least 20 times. And I remember there was a stretch in my life where I didn't watch it because I still wanted to have that like guttural reaction when a certain moment happened. I'll say that later, I'll save it. But I love it. It's almost what wrestling is to me in my match. And we all have a story. We all have a different connection with a different match. Everyone has a connection to a match during maybe a time in your life where that match meant more to you. Maybe this guy was your favorite superstar, why that means more to you. Or maybe it was a significant impact, the triumph of a Daniel Bryan or Stone Cold when he finally won the WWF Championship, WWE Universal, WWE World Heavyweight Championship, or however There's lots of different types of matches over the years. There's lots of there's a lot to choose from.
Yeah,
and for us,
a lot of choices.
For us to narrow it down to one match for the sake of this argument,
it's difficult.
It does get difficult because I've had, on different days. Matches switch, but this is probably the one I have to say. My favorite match is Jeff Hardy versus The Undertaker on Raw for the Undisputed Championship in a ladder match. I'll set the stage for this. Jim Ross, Jerry the King Lawler also on commentary here. This is The Undertaker's first ladder match, so it's already like, oh, what's gonna happen? He's never been in one of these matches before. How's he gonna fare? You're always interested to see. Undertaker's he's had like he's had his fair share of, we'll call them non-disqualification matches, like casket matches, the Inferno match with Kane.
Buried alive.
And for us to see a ladder match, which we all love, by the way, that ladder match is probably my favorite type of match, just in the general sense. It was interesting to see what he could do with a ladder match specialist in Jeff Hardy. Jim Ross and King tell a story throughout the entire match. And it's the good story. It's the feel-good story. It's the underdog trying to reach his moment. He's trying to, in JR's words, make himself famous. And the match goes not back and forth. Undertaker's pretty much dominating Jeff Hardy, but he does get a little bit of offense in. He's innovative in the match. I was watching the match recently. Jeff Hardy sets up the ladder on the bottom turn rope, and he's getting ready to springboard over it to hit the Undertaker, and I was like, I haven't seen that since awesome. That match. It was like, wow. And then when the Undertaker, his finisher was Last Ride at the time. It's a powerbomb where he lifts you up and then throws you back down. Jeff Hardy grabs the chair, smashes Undertaker with it, and just climbs back up, and he's trying to reach for that ladder, and he's climbing as slow as he can. The crowd's all behind him because they know that if he's gonna do it, this is gonna be his moment. And then he just reaches up. And as he's reaching for it, he's reaching for the sun, he touches the gold, bam, Undertaker smashes him in the back. His wings of wax melt, and reality comes and faces him. Undertaker climbs up the ladder, grabs him by the throat, he throws him down. He brings down the championship, and the match is over. The part that gets me and why it's my favorite match is after the match. The Undertaker's getting ready to leave. And Jeff Hardy grabs the microphone and he says, "I'm still standing, Taker. You still haven't broke me." Undertaker comes back down to the ring and he's like, "What are you doing? I don't believe you." And he starts attacking Jeff Hardy and he leaves again. Goes back up the ramp. Jeff Hardy's still standing, trying to get back up. Undertaker comes back down. He grabs his head, cocks back, and ready to hit him. Jeff Hardy just looking at him like, I'm going to take this. I'm not going anywhere. And he's like, you know what? You're crazy.
Yeah.
And I respect your heart. I respect your determination. I respect your will to keep going. Gives him a pat on the head. Like, I don't know what you're made of, but you got it, you know.
Yeah.
And he gives him his endorsement, raises his arm, and he walks away. And just like that, when you get the Undertaker's endorsement, one of the most respected men in the history of professional wrestling, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. This is when Undertaker was like the American badass Undertaker. He wasn't even like
Big evil.
Oh man, this good times, good for me. I remember this match was just a little bit before my birthday, and I was wow. I was like, wow, I can't believe my favorite wrestler at the time, Jeff Hardy, gave me a birthday present I'll literally never forget.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. And I remember I had fond memories of this match. I was watching, grounded of course. Had the volume on like 2, something like that, huddled around the TV. I got a towel under my door so the light doesn't come out, and just watching, I was like, wow. I enjoyed the match with literally no volume, and it still got me. Hooked me for life. Hooked me for life. That story is near and dear to my heart, and I know that's not the best version of me telling it, but I love that match to death.
Awesome match. I think it was an awesome explanation.
Yeah, thank you.
You did a good job, yeah. Give him a round of applause.
Thank you. Danny, please.
So as John said, it's hard. As you said, it's hard to go for one match. I mean, I got probably at least 5 off the top of my head I can go with, but for me, I'm gonna go with The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, WrestleMania 19, March 30th. Oh my gosh, I still remember the date. Oh my gosh, March 30th at Safeco Fieldhouse in Seattle, Washington. And for me, Rock Austin WrestleMania 19 is probably not the first match that everybody goes through out of the Rock Austin saga. There are many matches. They probably go, especially their Mania matches, you go to WrestleMania 17 first because of just how the
pure in-ring match that probably is the best match.
Yeah.
Story-wise, I definitely think 19 is probably the story-wise impact match. Please.
Yeah. So it's 19 for me just stood out differently, and I love 17. But I just want to go something different, just because 17 was just. You had these 2 icons, and it's, Rock was at his pinnacle, and Austin was coming back from his neck injury. So you had something unprecedented that I don't know if we'll ever see again anytime soon, of just 2 guys that brought wrestling to a whole new era, a whole new level, about to face each other on the grandest stage of them all, for the world title, for the WWF title at the time. But 19 for me was different just because this was Austin's last match. This was The Rock's last match. I don't care what anybody says. I know Rock had about 4 other matches afterwards. This was The Rock's last match. He was transitioning to Hollywood, so you kind of knew he was probably fading away. And, even though he had a match with Goldberg afterwards, I don't count that either because Goldberg's kind of irrelevant. But that's another story for another day to be, like Goldberg. But this was both their last match. The story was The Rock finally trying to overcome his demons, in a sense, and beat Austin. At WrestleMania.
The one thing he had not been able to accomplish.
He had never been
beat Stone Cold at WrestleMania.
And so it was eating him alive. And you can just kind of tell from the story, he just said he needed this. And, the match back and forth was just an electric environment. It was probably my favorite just in-ring match from the 2 out of their Mania matches, their Mania trifecta. And Rock got the win, which made it even better. But it took 3 rock bottoms to bring Austin down. But them using each other's finisher, Rock hitting a stunner and seeing Austin do a rock bottom, and the near falls, and of course JR and King on commentary, and it just made it that much better. But that match was just, to me, just the whole story behind it, and then the culmination of it, and just the aftermath of it also, because behind the scenes, of course, it didn't show that because it's behind the scenes, but behind the scenes, Austin's in his locker room, and you kind of see the cameras pan, and The Rock goes into the locker room and starts hugging Austin before Rock shuts the door behind him. And it was, I'm trying to find where it was, but it was such a classic moment. And because the behind the scenes of that was The Rock talking about how that there was only a few people that knew that was probably Austin's match, and there's Austin, JR, and The Rock, of course, Vince McMahon. Very few people that knew that was his last match, and so Austin's kind of emotional in the back, and he doesn't really show tears. You kind of watch while The Rock closed the door behind him, but just seeing that added to why this was my favorite match, just a moment, because I mean, it's just two iconic guys.
Yeah.
It was kind of symbolizing the end, especially because then you kind of had not them passing the torch, but the main event of that night was Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle, who would be the two guys that carry it on for the next few years until they're separate things.
Yeah. No, but just an analogy I like to use. Before the movie messed it up, this was Batman versus Superman. It was the dream matchup, and we had it already twice, and we still want to see it. This is the one match that everyone's like, cool, give me more.
Yeah,
give me
always
more.
Want to see.
You can it's the one rivalry you can continuously go to the well, and just the electricity they provide, the atmosphere they can create with the fans, the chemistry they have is undeniable, and it resurfaced at WrestleMania 30. When Rock, Austin, and Hogan ran the match for the opening promo, that was mind blowing. Because I remember, first off, Hogan's just, hey, everybody, welcome to WrestleMania. And you never know when WrestleMania was going to happen. Bam! Stone Cold comes out. Oh my gosh, Stone Cold's really here. I didn't know he was going to be there. Yeah. And then I always remember Austin 316 says, I just whipped your ass. Boom, the Rock's music hits. We haven't seen him since WrestleMania 29 when he lost to John Cena for the WWE Championship. Anyway, but it was just cool to see. He had just come off Hercules. And The Rock, man, he can go away. I don't want him to always go away. We love seeing Rocky. When he goes away and he comes back,
makes it better.
Always, you feel it. There's such an impact there. There's so much emotion with it because everyone, when Rocky is in the middle of that ring, everyone's watching. Everyone can't wait to see what he's gonna do, and he's the best on the mic ever.
Yeah,
It's when the man has a mic. You're baited and you're ready. You're just waiting. Everyone and you'll hear it. People before he even says anything. Rocky. Just he soaks it in because he knows it. He absorbs it and just finally the Rock has come back to respective city. He's Rocky, man. You can't beat that.
Yeah, you really can't.
Like we've all done Rocky moments. We've all done the people's eyebrow. We've all yelled at people like the jabroni beating, pie eating, trailblazing, eyebrow raising. You know. Sorry, we're seeing like Rocky marks, but
we are.
Yeah, true.
It's true.
But so those are the two most iconic guys.
Oh, yeah, Rock and Austin.
Honestly, in the business, the history of the business.
For sure. But yeah, Kevin, please.
Love the two matches you guys presented. They were all incredible. But it goes to a little more new school. Not to bash on the old school. Love the old school. Love the Attitude Era. Best era in my opinion, and probably all our of our perspective opinions. But I'm gonna go with something that. Well, let's see. I'm gonna go with Randy versus Cactus Jack.
Ooh,
Backlash,
Ruthless Aggression
2004.
era. Okay.
Yeah, Ruthless Aggression. This is the match that kind of pushed Randy to
the stratosphere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because this was a. It was a doozy. It was not for the weak at heart, that's for sure. I mean, there was a lot of bloodshed. Just to talk a little bit about the match, it was a no-holds-barred match. So anytime you're in a no-holds-barred match with Cactus Jack, you know it's going to be painful. You're going to wake up the next morning or that shower later that evening. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot. But again, just kind of propelling Randy into the spotlight. He's already the Intercontinental Champion at the time. I think this got him ready to be the eventual World Champion.
Starting to build on that Legend Killer stuff.
Exactly.
Legend Killer.
Love that guy.
What a gimmick.
Oh yeah, what a gimmick. One of the best gimmicks of all time, I think. And if you guys don't know, Randy is probably my favorite guy today in the current business. And ever since I saw him when he first entered the WWE, I knew something special. I knew there was something special around him, and I knew it was going to be good. And a match like this where they were going all over the ring. There was barbed wire present. There was a
thumbtacks.
Thumbtacks, which Randy got dropped on. It was more than Jericho's thumbtacks, I would say. They probably had about like 80 thumbtacks in his back. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
If you haven't seen the clip of Cactus Jack, Randy Orton going for the RKO, Cactus Jack throwing him into the thumbtacks, and him springing back up, the face he makes, and when the camera turns around to his back and you see all the thumbtacks in his back, the blood coming down, it's it's a sight. Yeah, it's a sight. You see, when WWE wants to show that clip to other people, it's in black and white for a reason.
Yeah, because it's a gruesome clip, no doubt about that. And there's so many other gruesome parts of that match. There was a board that was covered in barbed wire, and Mick Foley, unfortunately for him, got slammed onto it, and you just see him, just his whole arm just cut open, the barbed wire sticking to his shirt. Who knows what was going on under his shirt? I mean, jeez, man, there's just much respect to those guys, because that was a intense match, and there was a lot of bruises that were handed out that match. And
Sure.
like I said, I love Randy Orton. That for me kind of solidified that he's going to be one of the greatest, superstars in WWE history, and I think he is to this day.
Yeah.
And,
No doubt.
I loved every second of that match, honestly. That's a match you guys definitely need to go out and check out. Again, Backlash 04. Again, not for the week, but a lot of blood is involved in that match, but it's definitely entertaining. One of the more entertaining Randy matches.
Without a doubt. No,
Yeah.
I love these matches.
Yeah,
I've seen all these matches like 5 times.
They're so good.
They are good. I love showing your match specifically to people who are either Randy fans or Mick Foley fans, or maybe not seen like some of his Cactus Jack stuff, and they saw his Mankind stuff, or even his Dude Love stuff. I'm like, wait, you didn't see the match with Randy Orton and Cactus Jack in 04? Man. I'm like,
you gotta watch that.
we gotta watch this right now. Let's have a seat. Let's get some popcorn ready.
Yeah, I mean, how good is Mankind to have 4 different personas that he's been able to pull off in WWE? I mean,
Bang bang.
Yeah, bang bang. the guy's obviously is a legend, but he's we make our list of top 10 superstars or top 15 superstars. I mean, I think it's kind of hard to not put him on that.
It is hard not to put him on there. When you think, especially Attitude Era, Mankind, Rock, Austin, Kane, Undertaker, they are all in there as equal parts. You can't paint that picture without Mankind. You cannot. Just the night he won the WWF Championship is the loudest pop I've ever heard in my entire life. That when Stone Cold came out to help him, and everyone still loves Stone Cold. Just watch that. Watch the reaction of the fans. Arms up, standing ovation, people getting on chairs. Oh my gosh, and then he just drags him over. Earl Hebner counts to 1, 2, 3. Everyone loses their minds.
Big assist to WCW on that one.
Yeah.
Stupid idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
But man, it's one of those true feel good underdog moments that you just don't get, and they did it. They booked it flawlessly. It was executed flawlessly. It was just, I can't find an error in it. I almost don't want to find an error in that match. And when I watch it back, I'm like, I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't change a thing. So
That was good.
I love it. You mentioned your favorite superstar is Randy Orton. My favorite superstar is John Cena. It's okay. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. We all are.
He has a strong dislike for John Cena.
Strong.
And I understand it. It's okay. We will always have this rivalry.
Yeah, true.
But
Cena, Orton, I mean, 2 of the most relevant guys really that have been in the business for the last 10 years or so.
For sure.
2 of the best. So we picked good guys to like.
Right? Good time to jump on. And just a quick story for me. Like when I go back to when we used to watch SmackDown on UPN 20. That was life for us back in the day. I know I didn't have cable back in the day.
Me either.
And so whenever we could watch anything on, especially SmackDown, Thursday nights UPN 20, and especially because it started at 8 o'clock, you can't beat that. Especially as a kid. I was 12 years old in 2002 when John Cena debuted. 12 years old, and I hated Kurt Angle with a passion. The way he hates John Cena now, I hated Kurt Angle. And you couldn't tell me the wrestling was predetermined. And I hated everything about him. He always won. I got sick of him. I got so sick of him. So, lo and behold, this new guy, never seen him before in my life, with some weird red trunks and everything, comes down, I'm John Cena. Why do you think you have what it takes? Ruthless aggression. Pops him right in the face and just proceeds to have the best debut match I think I've ever seen. Yeah. Other than Kevin Owens' debut match against John Cena, this is John Cena's first anything with WWE on WWE TV, not Ohio Valley Wrestling or anything like that. So I was just like, who is this guy? Oh my gosh, this guy's so awesome, and I loved it. I was so happy with that match. And then after that match, after the commercial break, they go backstage. They don't do this anymore. I wish they would do it a little bit more. John Cena is just going up, dapping people. Hey, what's going on, man? Good job, good job, good job. And then he slowly stands there, and he's like, who's this? He's almost in awe. The Undertaker walks in. He's like, he takes his glasses off, What's your name, kid? John Cena. John Cena, huh? He brings down the title a little bit, extends his hand, shakes his hand. Nice job. You don't get that, man.
The rest is history.
The rest is history.
Undertaker endorsement.
Yeah.
The Undertaker endorsement. And just going back to this, I don't remember the last time they had their match. It's been a good while. If WrestleMania 33, if we really could get the John Cena versus the Undertaker match, they can almost both retire on that night. Like, I don't want John Cena to go anywhere, but where it all started, where it can all end for both of them, and
that's true. It's perfect coming full circle.
Full circle.
Yeah.
That would be like the perfect story for me. Like, just wow. Like some of my favorite guys of all time. Just getting to see story, and I love finality in my story. I like seeing things progress, and I like seeing where the finish line is. I love when you finally cross the finish line because the payoff is usually great, and when it's done right, like going back to your match, WrestleMania 19, that last rock bottom, and they both kind of know this is the last time that we're both going to be in this ring competing against one another for these fans. And I don't want to say it teardrops or anything like that, but it's just, he stands there for a second with him, just locked up and emphatic rock bottom.
Yeah.
And he just grabs him, and he just knows, just 1, 2, 3. And it's ding, ding, ding. Finality and storytelling at its finest.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And when they do it right, they do it right. You can't beat it, and I love it. I love good storytelling.
Yeah, when they do it right, you can remember and cherish that memory forever.
It is. Wrestling, it really is an art form, and it's the most modern form of Shakespearean art in today's day and age. When you can get the fans emotionally invested in your character and bring them on a ride for the highs and the lows. There's always going to be good parts. There's always going to be bad parts. Do we like everything that happens? No, of course not. But who likes everything that happens in any TV show they like, or any movie they like, any video game they like, anything they do in life? There's always going to be highs and lows. You're loyal. You stick through it. You come through it. When you get to the end, then just cheer and just soak it all up with them, man.
Drink it in.
Drink it in, man. Oh, Chris Jericho, man. But
he's the man.
I love wrestling. I love it to death. I love WWE. I love everything they've given to me. I don't know if I could ever pay it back. They've given me more memories than I can ever remember, and some I've forgotten. And I love going on the WWE Network for only $9.99 and reliving these memories.
Nice
There's stuff when I remember when I was 10. When I rewatch it now at 26, I'm like, oh my gosh, I just remembered this. It was so fun to you back then, but 3rd grade going into like 6th grade, you forget stuff. It just happens. So, but yeah, for me, I love wrestling, you guys. We all love wrestling. We're all fans. We go to every show we can when we get the chance. Me and Vandie went to WrestleMania 28 for once in a lifetime. John Cena versus The Rock. Favorite guy Rocky, favorite guy John Cena, man. The first time and what we would believe was going to be the last time.
Once in a lifetime came twice in a lifetime.
Apparently.
Yep, but it's okay because I will never regret going.
Oh, no.
Just continuing on that match, the atmosphere for that match was something unparalleled. Cena will tell you, that's if he has to pick one match of his, that's probably his favorite match because the build to it, they built that for 1 full year.
Yeah.
We had time to save up. We got time to be ready. We got time to tell people. We went to Miami, hung out for a whole weekend on South Beach.
Must have been nice.
But just being there with die-hard wrestling fans, because only die-hard go to WrestleMania. I'm not saying like I don't hate little kids going to the shows or anything like that. It's a different scene when you can go with all 20-plus-year-olds and you don't have to worry about cursing or anything like that when there's like a little 6-year-old next to you. Yeah, that's
little
real.
Susie right next to you.
Little Susie, and that's real. That's real.
Or a little Jimmy.
Little Jimmy. But yeah, and then also on that night we got End of an Era. Shawn Michaels special guest referee, Triple H versus The Undertaker in Hell in a Cell while the streak was still intact. Loudest pop I've ever heard live. Shawn Michaels' sweet chin music game, The Undertaker, into a pedigree. I don't know if I can say this any better way. My line literally. I was like,
boom.
This is actually this is it. The streak was ending. It was ending. There was no ifs, ands, buts about it. And then The Undertaker just wills himself out. And I remember, and I love to think about it this way, 2012 for me was probably the last time wrestling fans believed that if you cheer your guy hard enough, they will still win the match. And you should have heard me just chant for Cena. I didn't want Cena to lose that match. I didn't want Undertaker to lose that match. I didn't want Triple H to lose that match. You just cheer. You believe it really makes the difference. And when and nowadays we're cognizant of it. You cheer your guy, the big man upstairs, Vince McMahon hears it. Oh, hey, we're gonna, maybe it's this guy's time to run with the title. Maybe it's this guy's time to be in the spotlight. And I try to encourage it as much as I can. I buy the merchandise. I'm not shy to do it. You support the product that you like because you want to continue to have it. You can't. Don't pirate it, please. Don't bootleg it. $9.99. If you really can't come up with $9.99 a month for all the programming previous to today's date, pay-per-views. You know how much I spent in 2012 on pay-per-views? $450. Whew. I will never forget that dollar figure because I will never have to pay it
You
again.
can start saving that up for a scarf from Jericho.
Something like that. But just $9.99 a month. Tops, that's $120 a month. And you can't beat that. You can't beat. That's 3 pay-per-views back in the day.
Yeah.
And we used to buy them.
Yeah, I know. It's the worst part.
Yeah, and credit to you, man. Van used to always order the Royal Rumbles and WrestleManias. Whenever another one would come around, one of us would try to get some.
How much we spent on that?
Oh, we spent a lot. We spent pretty pennies. So I don't think I'll ever not have the network. It's just that good. It's worth the value. Now there's a lot of original programming.
Yeah.
I love Legends of Wrestling. The Cruiserweight Classics on there. NXT's on there. If you haven't seen NXT, Shinsuke Nakamura, Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode. Man, these dudes. Hideo Itami. It's Asuka. There's so much talent
You have to
there.
check it out because it's the future WWE superstars. So
Thank you.
Why
And they're
not
not
get a chance to see them now?
They used to call it developmental. It's not developmental anymore.
It's not.
Oh, they're touring now. Now we're gonna go to the NXT show in Richmond or Virginia Beach or
Baltimore. One of the three.
One of the 3 shows we're gonna go to those for sure. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say it. I love wrestling.
Yeah.
So anything you guys want to say?
Well said, man.
Yeah, I mean,
well said.
You done covered it,
Yeah. Okay, so what we would normally do in our shows is every week we'll drop the show on Wednesday after we got a chance to see Raw and SmackDown. Pay-per-views are on Sunday, so if we can get the pay-per-view we'll get our pay-per-view reactions if there was a pay-per-view. Raw reactions and SmackDown reactions. We'll all record it, tell you all what we thought the highs and lows of the show were. We'll also have a segment for promo of the week. And this doesn't have to be necessarily WWE related. It probably will be because that is the content we absorb the most. But if there's a notable promo that we saw from Ring of Honor or TNA or any promotion really, and we think it deserves a little bit of spotlight, we're going to talk about it. We're not shy to talk about it. We love promos. We love seeing it. And like I said, when guys get a chance to talk, it enhances their character. You care about them. You really want to hear what they have to say. Before Damian Sandow, unfortunately left WWE, he got maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes to say that Mizdow gimmick was never supposed to happen. That was a one-night thing. You fans, you WWE Universe, embraced it, accepted it, and cheered me on because you knew I have what it takes to be here, and you won't get those words anywhere else. You need to get those words in front of the 18,000 in Chicago or the 18,000 in Washington D.C. Whatever stadium or arena it is in. You want to hear that stuff. You want to hear wrestlers being themselves. And I don't even want to necessarily call these promos, but some of the best stuff you hear when people are themselves. Ric Flair's retirement, Shawn Michaels' retirement, Mark Henry's full retirement. Dude, man, that got me. And then, and Daniel Bryan's retirement, I'm pretty sure it happened to just about everybody. Someone randomly starts cutting onions in your room. It's
starts tearing up. It's just things start dripping.
You care for these characters. You invest in them. You love these guys. You love seeing them every night, in and out. And that's the best part about wrestling to me, is that I can see them when I want to see them. With MMA and stuff like that, or even football, there's only 16 games in a season.
And if your team sucks,
that's all you're going to get.
You hope that
you
no more.
You have to hope that you do make the playoffs and you get to see your team strive and succeed. You always want to see your hometown team succeed. You always want to see success. I don't wish failure on anyone. That's not what I want. What kind of person would I be if I'm like, oh, fuck you? No, we're not like that. We're not like that. Also, what we're gonna do, another segment we're gonna have is match of the month. This will be something that we believe. It won't necessarily be time related or anything like that, but it's just something. Maybe we'll talk about it amongst ourselves, or oh hey, I was watching Backlash 04. Did you see this match between Randy Orton and Cactus Jack? Or 2005, another match from there. Just a match that we think you guys should see. Why this was relevant? Why this match has an impact? Why it's important in the grand scheme of things? Because there can be character development in these matches. It can be a technical match. It can be just a match that just got the whole 100% crowd investment. WrestleMania 18 with The Rock and Hulk Hogan, 100% fan investment match. The match itself, not the most technical match in the world, but
because Hogan was in it.
But Rocky triumphed in that match, and we got to see a true passing of the torch in that match, and just respect is. I love respect, and when you see Hulk Hogan just beaten and hurt, and he knows this, and he just extends his hand to The Rock, and just shakes his hand. It's like, all right, I got you, I got you. So for me, that's our brief explanation for it. For our matches of the month this month, we just gave you 3. Please.
You're welcome.
Check them out.
Please go ahead and watch them. Leave feedback in the comments. Let us know what you guys think of our favorite matches. Let us know where your favorite matches are. You can follow us on Twitter at CutThatPromo and Sit Down Showdown. You can subscribe to us on youtube.com/SitDownShowdown. You can follow me on Twitter at JamLucas18. You can follow Vandie on Twitter at Vandie Barnard.
Real simple.
Kevin at Ortiz Kevin90.
Yep, not as simple, but you still get it.
We'll be here, you guys, every Wednesday. Keep up with us. Anything else you guys want to say?
No, man, that sounds like a promo.
Sounds like a promo.
It does. Good stuff.
Again, we are the generation that grew up in the Attitude Era. This is our take on the business. We won't throw the book at you. Until next time.